In the English language, the word resilience derives from Latin resalire, rebound. It has a clear meaning in the physical and engineering sciences, where you can measure materials resilience using a resiliometer. If you open the Swedish dictionary looking for a definition of resilience, human resilience, you will find words like motståndskraft, livskraft, elasticitet, robusthet, and so on. We don't have a resiliometer for measuring human resilience, but we can capture all these different dimensions that the words connote by using different methods and combining them. So language is very important. It's not only the vehicle for transporting the ideas we communicate, but it's the ideas themselves. My own interest in human resilience dates back to 2001 formally, when it was suggested to me that I could do better in terms of asking research questions. The Eritrean women who suggested this had lived realities which translate to surviving and even thriving against the odds. So they suggested you could ask better questions, like how do people survive and even thrive against the odds? This is a very universal question, especially in the 21st century. So I thought they were really onto something fundamental about human nature and human survival and thriving against the odds. I was open to listening and learning more from them. So has this question been asked before, how people survive against the odds and even thrive? Yes, of course, many times. It has been asked in the context of child development by psychologists. I was looking at adults. It struck me that we are looking at a multidimensional construct. It's about adaptation, human adaptation, and learning, adaptive learning constantly to constant change. So change is the constant, but you're constantly adapting and learning and absorbing what you learned into your day-to-day activities for the purposes of maintaining normal function without losing your identity. But we can see that people anticipate adversity and engage judiciously with adversity to maintain normal function without losing identity and making meaning out of this all along. So this question is really homing in on the dynamics of human resilience. And I knew I had been influenced by the work of Aaron Antonovsky back in the 1980s. He was actually working in the 1960s and 70s, well into the 80s, looking at how people manage stress and stay well. And his study populations were Holocaust survivors or descendants of Holocaust survivors. And at the time he lived and worked, stress was the word in public health. Now resilience is the word. So he came to understand that the extent to which people understand, manage, and make meaning out of adversity has everything to do with their resilience, even though he didn't use the word resilience. And that's summed up in the phrase sense of coherence. In my work, which has extended Antonovsky's work, we have called it sense and sensibilities of coherence, because it's not a question only for Eritrean women. Everywhere, it's a universal topic of interest for the 21st century, and it's very closely related and associated with sustainability. Saving lives and sustaining livelihoods, sustaining the natural environment, our interdependence with each other and with the environment, that's our life support system. All of these have to be co-sustained. That can only be done successfully if we are co-learning from different dimensions, different perspectives, and languages and terminologies on human resilience.